Hey there, it is June 8th and I am at Realtor.com and I'm going to be looking to see what listings are new this week in Michigan's Upper Peninsula. And I'm going to go ahead and zoom into the eastern side. And if you drag your map down to just what's showing, that'll be what filters on the left. So I'm going to go ahead and try 75,000. And I'm going to take off hide, pending, and contingent. And I'm going to put in 10 acres or more. And then you can sort by newest. So we have a few. So when they say new, that means they've been listed in the last 14 days. So only a few. Let me go ahead and put this up a little bit. Let's do 150. Okay, so this is Rapid River. It is down here in the bottom under Munising on the opposite side. So let's take a look at that one. 99,000 for 40 acres. It is a mobile home. Lots of wooded, just nice. Partially cleared. Driveway. Looks like they have off-grid water. Outhouse. Deer blind. There's a lot of photos. Oh, you got a bear in there? Oh boy. Good hunting land, it seems. Wood stove. Okay, let's read this. So this is a year-round parcel, 40 acres, 30 wooded, 10 acres of tillable land, plowed by a neighbor, no contract, is off a year-round road plowed by the county. A small part of the pipeline is on the north end of the property. Not sure what they mean by pipeline, gas pipeline or what. Great hunting with trails to the national forest. 3 blinds. Grouse, bear, turkeys, and deer have been spotted and shot on the property. Close to snowmobile and ATV trails. 7 miles to DNR boat launch on Big Bay Dinock for walleye, bass, northern, and perch. 55 miles to Lake Superior. It has a 1968 2-bedroom, 1-bath mobile home. There is no electricity, but it is a half a mile away. There's a 2000 Honda 2000 generator, which runs everything, which will remain. No well, but owners have the water. We saw that in the photo. On-demand water heater. If you want to rough it, there is an outhouse, the holding tank, heated by propane, wall heaters, wood burning stove. Propane runs refrigerator and stove. Propane supply is a 100-pound cylinder, and at least 1 propane cylinder will remain. Everything in the mobile home will remain except for the 4 kitchen chairs. Drone video is available upon request. So let's look at this information here. Annual tax amount. You don't want to rely on that. You want to use the tax estimator website provided by Michigan. It will let you put in like what you're going to pay for this and what the taxes will be for you. Here is the directions to the property. It is Nama Township, so you want to look at Nama Township zoning if you want to do something different with the property than what it is currently at. It says residential, but that doesn't really mean that's what it is. It could be residential agriculture, it could be recreational. You really want to look at the township and see exactly what it is. The realtors don't, I don't feel like the realtors look this up and look. It's usually different than what's on here from what I have seen. They're not as specific. So it says there's septic, propane, and electric. So the electric is a generator, right? And then this part here, there's been no recent sales. If there had been sales in the last 5 or 10 years, I'm not sure exactly how far back they go, but this would tell you. So if they bought it within the last few years, it would show, but there's nothing here, so that's good. So that's a nice off-grid kind of setup close to trails. It is in the southern UP. So depending on where you're looking at going, it's not too far off of 2. My mouse zooms like crazy today. So if you were coming from the Lower Peninsula, it'd probably be maybe a couple hours over the bridge to here. Manistique is a good size town with grocery stores. I'm not sure about this middle area here. There's definitely a lot of things in Escanaba as well, so that's a good location if you like access to the major stores. I'll go back and see what else we have. This one too, I saw this one, 139 for 120. This is really close to Newberry. There is a really big barn. Looks very old though. It has power. It has a lumber or logging like workshop in there. Looks like they have a bunch of tools listed. There's the power box. Sawmill. And I think it's on a paved road, so this must be a road within the property. So 462 is paved road, so it looks like here's the driveway to come into that barn. And then they own quite a bit with a creek coming through, which is nice. My understanding is this area is a lot of wetlands, so you'd want to walk this for sure to make sure that there's enough dry land to do what you want to do. This has only been listed 3 days, and let's see how many, 6 saves, so not a lot of saves. It is pretty close to town. We'll look at this one here. So yeah, you're like right outside of town. There's a cell tower. I think in this area there's a cell tower, so I would assume that you might be able to get cell service at that location. And they're also putting in Highline fiber internet, so that would be an opportunity to also to have internet at that property. So 120 acres just north of Newberry, packed with potential on a year-round paved road with power already installed and a large barn on site. Once an operating sawmill, the property still holds much of the original equipment, including a chop saw, notcher, bandsaw, table saw, joiner, and planer, all of which convey with the sale. Powering this operation is a simulated three-phase system with a 400 amp service already in place. The land spans 3 L-shaped 40-acre lots totaling 120, with 39 creek meandering through the southern portion and reaching up toward the southern corner of the northern 40. While much of the land is low and wet, the area around the barn is high and clear, ideal for building or development. So this says the pole barn is, it doesn't say the size, does it? That's the lot size, 1320 by 1320 times 3. Waterfront feet, 39. Not sure what that creek looks like or how big it is. They didn't have any pictures, so I'm guessing it's not anything elaborate. Taxes, again, you want to check the Michigan tax site to see what that would be for this price and this acreage. It does give you a parcel number, though there's 3 parcel numbers in the listing, but you could call. This is going to be McMillan Township, I believe. I don't know if it says up here. Newberry, Luce. McMillan, Newberry, and Sioux Junction. So I believe it's McMillan is where this is going to be. If you called McMillan Township, they would be able to tell you exactly the zoning for this area. And yeah, 1 permit recorded since 2013. I would imagine the permit would either be for the barn or the power. And this was listed today. There's no other history of any previous sales. Oh, yep, there it is. Electrical permit. So this is new. This is something that over the past couple months I've been seeing that Realtor.com added, where you can see when permits were pulled. So the electric isn't that old, really. So that's good. Also, let's look at the map and put on the flood zone and see what this looks like. Like, out of 120 acres, how much of this is going to be wet? So if you go to layers, and you can turn on flood. Yeah, so this property came off the road, and then it went down just about to these railroad tracks. There's train tracks right here. So then it went down and up and over like an L. So it does look like quite a bit of this is wet, with the majority of it being toward the main road. This is the paved road here. So definitely walk this one and see exactly what you're dealing with if you're interested in it. It's only been listed a few days, and not a ton of saves. So this is another one in the Newberry area, just north of town. That's kind of interesting. It has 400 acres for 140,000. This is right off 123 as you're coming out of town on the left, on the west side of 123. And this one as well has some water. But with 400 acres, I'm sure you could find a dry spot, depending on where the property lines are. So just a couple pictures. They don't even mark out the boundaries. 400 acres, direct access off 123, adjoining thousands of acres of state land. And I do believe the snowmobile trail goes through this. There's not been any sales, and this has only been listed since June 2nd. And a little bit more interest on this one. That is, if you're looking for a cheap price per acre, this is pretty cheap. 140 divided by 400. So $350 an acre is probably the cheapest I've ever seen anything listed for. Definitely recommend getting out and walking this if you're interested in it to see what all this pertains to and then where the boundaries are. And this one I believe also would be McMillan Township if you want to find out what the zoning is. I don't think they gave any. Did they give a tax ID number? No. So you might get that from the realtor and then call the zoning office just to make sure what you want to do. If you want to build a small cabin or something, or it's usually anything small, right? Townships can have minimum requirements for square footage. So if you just want a little cabin, the township may tell you, no, it may have to be like 500 or 700 square foot or whatever, depending on what the township is, what their rule is. This one is in Paradise. This would probably be an off-gridder as well. 92.5 for 30 acres with a small kind of a shed cabin. Been listed 7 days. 11 saves, so this one's even more interest. Lots of pictures. I'll go ahead and flip through some of these. So it gets cleared around the building. There's the access road. Not quite finished inside, but they're living in it apparently. Generator. Looks like a water tank or something, and why it's inside. Let's see what this says. 30 acres of mixed hardwoods on North Maple Block, 1 10-acre parcel with a Amish-built cabin with Home Depot kit. Land cleared area, large cleared area surrounds the cabin with adjacent 4x6 shed and an older camper. A trail connects the 10 acres to the 20 acres. Property conveys with a generator, some furnishings and appliances. Camper contains building supplies. Plans to add a shallow well, septic, and solar panels were not completed. So this one, I would just be careful, make sure what the zoning is. Just because they have this stuff on here doesn't mean that you're allowed to do this. So they built this in 2017 and they listed it in 2025. No other recent sales. It's a pretty good starter. So say, I was wondering if this is year-round access. I guess it'd be in here. Here we go. Sometimes they give directions. So 123 Wide Waters and Veer Left Farm Truck Road, Maple Block Road. Doesn't say anything about a seasonal road, but it may be. There's the parcel numbers you can look up to get more information on zoning. Yeah, it doesn't say seasonal, but I would watch that. And then the area. There was something funny about it connecting, how it connected. Yeah, I would watch like how the lots are connected and everything, and if that is okay with you or not. trail connects 10 acres to 20 acres. 18.8 in Moran. This is wooded. It's been listed 8 days, 9 saves. Hunting, fishing, snowmobiling close to River Lake. Yep, so this one is just a lot of land. Property starts just past the house on the right. It's on a blacktop road. So this may be a good off-grid. It does say electric available. And so this one has some history. So somebody bought it in 2004 for $22,000, and now that's quite a while actually, like 21 years they were there. And now they're selling it for $39,000, so not a big jump in price. So this may be good for off-grid scenario, potentially. It's close to 123, close to the lake. You just want to make sure it's not a wetland or anything, or you can, if you want to build something, you can build. This looks like woods. I don't see any signs of wetland. Maybe this might be the ditch by the road. Those are typically wet. Yep. So still not a lot going on. Some houses. There's a cheap house. What is this? $90,000 for 40 acres and a building. Small, 676 square foot. Been listed 8 days. Let me look up here. 44, yeah, right? This is a lot of stuff for 90,000. 40-acre getaway, ideal for hunters or anyone seeking peace and seclusion. Fully furnished, 24 by 24 camp, 1 bedroom, 1 bath, 10 by 10 unfinished room, powered off-grid by generator and 2 solar panels. Home includes a 12-volt LP gas electric lighting throughout. Stay comfortable year-round with gas wall furnace, wood burning stove, and window AC. Point well septic and electric on-demand water heater. Provide utilities. Also includes 2 sheds, 1 for storage, 1 for generator, 2 deer blinds tucked away on a seasonal road. This is a perfect retreat for outdoor living. So this is really nice, except for the seasonal road. You can't come in the winter very easily. Built in 2004, and now they're selling it, so it's not been flipping owners. Yeah, this is gonna sell fast. Let me look at location here. That's hard to see anything that way. All right, so down by Manistique. Let me look at, I guess I'll look at flood zone here and see what happens. Yeah, they got a little bit of water, so watch for that. That looks pretty nice. They're using 100-pound tanks potentially. Looks like a bus stop, but I think that's their woodshed. There's the generator that comes with it. Deer blinds, cabin. Okay, so you're here. Somebody owns something behind you. State of Michigan. All around. Private here. Dead ends into gate on property. So I was just wondering, just seeing this private property, I'm not sure where the road is on this picture, but just make sure that nobody has to go through your property to get to theirs, or you don't have to go through anybody else's to get to yours, but it sounds like it. You drive right up to it, so that's good. But what are the people behind doing? Because it depends on where the road is. It's hard to tell from here. And these maps don't always show you the roads because the roads are like 2-track roads. But for 40 acres, for 89,000 with like you can move, like that's like living ready. I feel like that's pretty good. I mean, it is seasonal. I've seen properties without any buildings go for more than that. So that's 2,225 an acre. So that's pretty good. Location, I mean, it's on the southern side, and a lot of people prefer to be by Lake Superior, but this still is pretty nice if you're going to do the off-grid homestead thing. And then the rest of these are ones that have been listed for a while. But that's what I had today, just taking a look at the new listings. Still kind of slow. We're in the beginning of June, so hopefully it will pick up.